بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى أمك المظلومة الزهراء مكسورة الضلعين وملطومة العين، وعلى الدماء السائلات بين يديك يا عبرة المؤمنين ويا سلوة الفاقدين. روحي وأرواح من في الوجود لك الفداء يا قتيل العدا ومسلوب العمامة والرداء. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. غريب مظلوم كربلاء. Dear brothers and sisters, in tonight we usually talk about the departure of Imam Hussain alayhi salam from the city of Medina. Dear brothers and sisters, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he goes to say the farewell to those who are buried in the city of Medina. His grandfather, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Also, it is known that his mother, Lady Zahra alayha salam, is buried in the city of Medina. Come with me. A son going to visit the grave of his mother. Who's the son and who's the mother? We're talking about Hussein and Lady Zahra alayhim as-salam. And you know, because Lady Zahra alayha salam was buried secretly in Medina, only few knew where she was buried. Imam Hussein had to do this secretly. ابن يقصد مثوى أمه سرا مما يصدع جلمود الصفا قهرا. A son going to visit his mother's grave secretly will break the heart, even the rocks won't stay. ليلا أتاها حسين يودعها يقول أرجو دعاء الأم يا زهرة. He goes secretly to the farewell of his mother, standing and saying, I seek. What does he seek? The prayer of the mother, O Lady Zahra. And as if his mother is talking back to him, what would she say, Lady Zahra, to her son Hussein? قالت حبيبي فسر go فالطف موعدنا. We will all meet in Karbala. فهناك تحمر عيني الأخرى. My other eye that was hurt, the first one was hurt after the departure of the Prophet, but the second one in Karbala shall be heard. إني سآتيك مهرولة وإن عثرت سأقصد المهر. كيف التصبر ما لو صرت منعفرا تقوم طورا وتهوي للثرى طورا. Lady Zahra alayha salam is talking, describing what would happen to Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imagine if when she is watching him in Karbala. Bunay. The poet on this one, he describes Lady Zahra as if she was on the day of the 10th of Muharram. Bunay, oh son Hussain. You know where I would be on the 10th day of Muharram when you're laying on the grounds of Karbala, ya Hussain. قربك تلقاني ممددة. You see me laying by you, ya Hussain, on the grounds of Karbala. كما تقاسي, like you're in pain. أقاسي الرمل والحرة. I will be having the pain that you're having, ya Hussain. Hussain. Are you feeling the agony of Lady Zahra? Are you feeling what she's going through when she sees her son Hussain on the grounds of Karbala? Shed those tears, have those feelings. Why? Because the hardest moment on Lady Zahra alayha salam. إذا جاء شمر سوف تنظر لي حيران. Hussain, when Shimr comes to you, you will look at me dismayed. What's happening? فكيف أدفع الشمر. How will I push away Shimr لعنة الله عليه. أقول دعه. I will say leave him alone. أما ترنو في ظمأ. Do you see the thirst on Hussain, ya Shimr? بضعف يجر أنفاسه جرا. خل الحسين فهذه روحه زهقت من الجراح فلا تقطع النحر. لكنه, as if Lady Zahra is telling Imam Hussain alayhi salam, as she addresses Shimr la'natullahi alayhi, stop, don't behead Imam Hussain, my son, don't you see what he's going through? ولكن يا ولدي إنه شمر لن يخاف الله. يا ويلا كيف فؤادي يحمل الصبر. قالت عن سيفه, but when I see his dagger, his sword about to hit Imam Hussain, سأدير الوجه ذاهلة وأنت تفحص بين رجلي. إذ تفرح حسين حسين، ليت الخيول تسحقني ولا تقلب منك الصدر والظهر. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، والصلاة والسلام على حبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Dear brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Holy Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، إن الله لا يستحي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها، فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم، وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. In this verse, dear brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jal talks about those who read the Quran and those who receive the message of Allah Azza wa Jal. When God gives the parables, how they react. Some will say, those who disbelieve, they say, what does Allah want with this example, with this parable? But those who believe, they know it is the truth from Allah Azza wa Jal. Then the verse ends with this: يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. If through this many will be led astray, and thereby many also are guided. وَمَا يُضِلُّ بِهِ إِلَّا الْفَاسِقِينَ. Only the transgressors will be misled. Dear brothers and sisters, yesterday we have been talking about the narrative and its importance. The narrative is this collection of stories, of events, interpretation, principles, individuals, what they did, what they have done, all of that put together. When we put all of it together and we narrate it to each other, believe in it, talk about it, this creates a narrative that helps us understand the point of view and the worldview that you and I live through. Tonight, inshallah, what I would like to address and talk about, as we link the topic of narrative, and it's important, to the event of Karbala and what happened on the 10th day of Muharram, I want to talk and focus, as we, in relating the story of Karbala, focus on the individuals and the characters. The leading individual who led and took, there is the spotlight on everything that was done in Karbala, obviously with no doubt, is Al-Imam Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayh. A leader like no other leader. My discussion tonight will revolve around the topic labeled the ambitious leader. And we will examine and talk about what Imam Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayh did and exhibit in this event of Karbala, of At-Taf, and how we can learn as we shape our narrative in accordance to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, so we can shape ourselves and our behaviors in that accordance. When we talk about the Quran, dear brothers and sisters, in opening, I want to address a very brief issue. Some people say we read the Quran, but you know what? It doesn't impact me. I'm not moved by the words of Allah Azza wa Jal. And I believe them. I do believe them. They're trying. But here we need to realize the problem is not in the Quran. The problem is in the recipient of the verse. Al-Quran is a guide for those who believe and those who are looking for guidance. The stipulation here that you need to be one who is looking for guidance. If you come with a preset that you are rejecting, you do not want to know the truth, no matter what is being given to you, you will not take it. MashaAllah, look at yourselves, look around. Wallah, I greet you. I'm very proud of you. I learn from you, as a matter of fact. MashaAllah, I see a lot of you already been to the several programs before. You've been here since, God knows, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and you're still here. What drives you? Even if it's because you want to be part of the Latmiya later on. Even if it's because you want to get the blessings of the majlis. No matter what it is, know that it links somehow, some way with the love of Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayh. You will be getting the thawab. Something is drawing you closer, bringing you closer to this thought of an individual with his family members who were massacred in Karbala. So something is driving you. You have the ground, the foundation to be drawn into it. Whenever you find an issue with how you gravitate towards a principle or an idea, and you have a problem, you feel there's an issue with the way you feel, with your connectedness, understand that you need to look deep into yourself and try to truly navigate through what is the blocking element that is not allowing your heart to open up to receive these words. Now, the problem therefore becomes what? In the Muslim, not in the Quran. Sometimes we're not able to understand, to capture, to be engaged with the Quran. No, there's a block from us internally. طيب. But we aim to do something. We aim to change. We aim to be better. Stagnation is the worst part. Meaning, if I accept my status quo, let's say I'm having a problem engaging. I'm having a problem coming to the majalis. I'm having a problem with my prayer. I'm having a problem with my Quran. I'm having a problem with my spirituality, with my religiosity. The first thing, the fact is you're identifying you have a problem is a check. It's something you should feel good about because it's moving a step forward. Now, there are options. You either give up and sit back, do nothing, or you aim to be what? To move forward and accomplish things even others have not accomplished. Now, many times there is a stigma or a stereotype that religious people are not people who want to achieve things. They just want to glide by. They just want to do things, check, and move on. They're not ambitious people, which is complete fallacy. It's completely wrong. And we're going to see the Quran explaining to us the fact that to be ambitious is key and important. Because these leaders, look at how Allah Azza wa Jal, what He sent us. Prophets, messengers of His, and Imams alayhim salam. All these individuals, you will see one character of theirs that is core in their personality, that they were ambitious. What does that mean? So ambition is the desire to achieve a particular end. So you have something in mind. The condition here is that you know what's the end game. You have clarity on what you want to achieve. After that clarity, you have the desire that is pulling you towards achieving that end. To do that, dear brothers and sisters, you need to be determined. You need to have perseverance. You need to know that you are going to plan, and you will have patience in the struggle. Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullahi ta'ala alayh, in one of his sayings, he assures us, if you want something and desire it enough, you shall achieve it. We'll talk about it inshallah later on tonight. See, to be ambitious is to accomplish, to seek the accomplishment. But here's an issue sometimes. We look at people that are, we call them over-ambitious. What does that mean? Is it a problem to truly be very ambitious and want to achieve things in your life? Where is the danger in this? Is there any danger? See, Imam Hussain alayhi salam narrates that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, "Inna Allah ta'ala yuhibbu ma'ali al-umuri wa ashrafaha." That Allah Azza wa Jal likes excellency and honorable affairs. وَيَكْرَهُ سَافَهَا, and does not like the lower of things. Meaning, when I want something, I need to look at the thing at its best, not at its lowest. I shouldn't see, okay, what can I achieve here? For example, a degree in college. Oh, just let me get whatever I can. No. Al-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, look at the best what you can accomplish in that space and aim high for it. That is a form of ambition, that looking up and not settling. It is very well known. I remember one time it's narrated from our grand marja, Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Sistani, when he talked to some of the visitors and he asked them, as they were talking about their achievement in their spaces, he said, you have so many different options and opportunities. Each one of you should achieve to be the best in their space, the best in your space. طيب. But to be truly ambition, let's see how we can balance between two things. We'll look at some of these individuals in today's world. They really are ambitious, but they don't know where to stop. There is a fine line between two things: being ambitious and being greedy. Being ambitious, I want to accomplish things. I want to get things done. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam shows us, if he did not have the desire to accomplish what Allah Azza wa Jal had sent him with all the struggles and the obstacles of Quraysh had put in front of him, he would have given up. But he had that ambition to do what? To accomplish and to achieve. A true believer in Allah and a true follower of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and a true follower of Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullahi ta'ala alayhi, and a true learner from al-Hasan wal-Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayhima, their brothers don't give up no matter what. And the higher the aim, the more the struggle and the test. It is very interrelated. The more you aim for, the higher the test and the more difficult the test. Why? Allah Azza wa Jal wants to give you what you want, but do you really mean it and do you really deserve it? By being tested, Allah Azza wa Jal qualifies you to know, if not for Him, Allah knows if you deserve it or not, but for you to know what you're made out of. And then to realize, once you achieve it, if you deserve it or not. Now, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the beauty about him. Now let's look at being ambitious. What are the conditions for success for an ambitious person? We look at Imam Hussain alayhi salam. One of the most important things with Imam Hussain alayhi salam is what? And with all of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they know themselves extremely well. Hey, give me your attention on this part. Why? Because in trying to understand all of this that we're doing and where you fit in it, where you fit in the story of Karbala, it happened 1400 years ago. What do you have to do with it? You are learning from it. You are becoming a walking, talking disciple and student of Karbala. How? We look at these elements that make up a true ambitious leader. What is the first element? Knowing yourself. Knowing who you are. Don't overstate or understate your value. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, someone came to him on his way to Karbala. He came inside and where the Imam alayhi salam was sitting, and sallam, he greeted the Imam. The Imam asked him, Min ayy al-buldani ant? From what country are you? He said, I am from the people of Kufa. I came from Kufa. قال يا أخا أهل الكوفة والله لو لقيتك بالمدينة لأريتك أثر جبرائيل في من دارنا. If I would have met you in Medina, I would have showed you Jibra'il alayhi salam, where he came down and revealed the message on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. وَنُزُولُهُ عَلَى جَدِّي بِالْوَحْيِ مُسْتَقَى الْعِلْمِ مِنْ عِنْدِنَا. See, the Imam alayhi salam knows, he says, the roots of all the knowledge is from us. أَفَعَلِمُوا وَجَهِلْنَا? Did they know and we did not? هَذَا مَا لَا يَكُونُ. That's impossible. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, dear brothers and sisters, knew himself, where he's from and what he's learned of. See, sometimes some people are criticized. Have you ever seen yourself, you know your stuff. You know the space you're in. You're an expert in your field, but people around you become jealous. Or people around you don't know how to deal with you. Why? Because they're not as confident as you are. They don't know as much as you are. The problem is not with you, it's with them. Imam alayhi salam teaches us and tells us, I know where we're from. I know that we are the roots, and revelation came down in our houses. The revelation came down on our grandfather Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. That is why when you become, and I want each and every one of you, dream and want to achieve something no one else have achieved. Don't settle. If you truly want to be one who learned from Karbala, don't just settle with the lowest of things. Be ambitious and know what you know and recognize what you need to know and what you need to achieve. Settling is not for a follower of Ali. It's not for someone who learns from Hussein. We have to be ones who realize what is it that we can know best and go and learn it. Don't worry about others. Let others worry about themselves. You worry about achieving. Let me ask you, don't we want to be with the 12th Holy Imam or not? Do you think the 12th Holy Imam alayhi salam would settle with individuals who are not achievers? Billah alayk, billah alayki. I ask you by God, you and you, male and female, brothers and sisters, the Imam is the Imam of the time. He's the perfection of all humanity. And I want to be with him. When you look at friends around you, how do you gauge if you should be with someone or not? You see yourself and you see them. You see, do you fit or not? We're talking about the Imam alayhi salam. Ask yourself, what is it you have that the Imam alayhi salam would say, come to me? He will accept everyone, definitely. But how do you become one who is close as a companion of the Imam alayhi salam? It's with what you accomplish in your life. Specifically, it starts with what you know. And it starts with knowing yourself. Imam Hussain, dear brothers and sisters, one time he talked to Ahl al-Kufa. عَجَبًا لِلنَّاسِ يَقُولُونَ أَخَذُوا. He talks about the people and how they talk about other people, about those at the time of the Prophet ﷺ who took over. He goes, did they know and we didn't know? The knowledge is from us. One thing, dear brothers and sisters, I want to make it clear. We are Muslims. And as I said yesterday, we share concepts and principles with all other Muslims. But we differentiate, we have uniqueness in how we think and what we relate to. When I look at a fellow Muslim who shares with me the two shahadat, the two testimonies, which are Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They, the others, when they look at the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is different than the way we look at him. The way we look at his isma, his immaculateness, is certainly different. Certainly different. We look at least when they say Surah Abasa wa Tawalla. In interpreting this verse, our narrative is different than their narratives. We look at our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as someone with the best of manners and akhlaq. Others no, question that. They say no, he frowned, he did X, Y, and Z. Regardless, we look at what they say, and I want to affirm this part. Having different opinions does not make the others our enemies. One of the biggest problems that we see in today's world, dear brothers and sisters, how to deal with those who differ from us in our opinions. If you're not someone that replicates my ideas and a copy of my thoughts, I have a problem with you. That's wrong. You need to be, if you're an ambitious leader, one of your characteristics is knowing. And knowing is knowing the differences between people, how they think and how you think. But it starts with, before I know what someone else thinks, I need to know what I should think, how I should believe, my own knowledge. And therefore, dear brothers and sisters, knowing these differences is not a waste of time, but it's a deepening of our own knowledge. And deepening of our own knowledge is refining and defining of our own character. So that's number one. The second thing is having a lot of insight and having a lot of dreams. Meaning, but what kind of dreams? Ones that you can make happen. An ambitious person is one that sees the big picture. And when they see the big picture, they can see where they fit in the big picture. But they don't settle for the small image. I don't settle for today. I don't settle for now. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he says, وَلْتَكُنْ هِمَّتُكَ لِمَا بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ. Look at your himma. Look at your energy, what you're trying to seek, what you're trying to accomplish, and dream and think for what is after death. Don't settle for just right now, for just today, for just next week. Look at the long term. Now, does it mean when I know myself, I can talk about what I know? I'll give you an example. Nabiullah Yusuf alayhi salam, when he was released from jail, and he went to the king. The king asked him, what is it that I can do for you? Nabiullah Yusuf alayhi salam, we can say, no, I have to be humble and kind of with my humility, I shouldn't talk about what I want. You know what Nabiullah Yusuf alayhi salam said? قال اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. Put me in charge of the country's treasury. The treasury. He was in jail. If from jail he went to the king and the king offered him, what can I do? He did not settle. He asked to be in charge of what? The treasury of Egypt at the time. Is that Yunus not being humble? Shwaya, pay attention to this. Imagine I tell you, someone comes up here and says, I know how to teach you A, B, and C. Some may say, come on, man, cool down. This is not humility. This is not humbleness. May Yusuf alayhi salam knew what he can do. Which means he found that it was his responsibility to do what? To safeguard the treasury of Egypt by saying, let me take care of it, because by taking care of it, I can safeguard the people and making sure when the drought comes, I know how to manage them. He knew he was a great leader. He did not shy away from it. Dear brothers and sisters, there is a fine line between arrogance and humility with knowledge. If I know something, if you see something wrong here, for example, and we have the IT team, the media team, and everything, you say, you know what, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to show off that I know A, B, and C. No, that's wrong. That is wrong. You need to come and say, if you can help the community in something, come and talk to those who are responsible. Be part of the movement of what? Improving ourselves together. So an ambitious leader knows himself and has this drive to achieve bigger things. Al-Imam Hussain, salamullahi ta'ala alayhi, dear brothers and sisters, he knew something that is key, and he shared it with us. What is the defining line between ambition and greed? Someone wants more and more and more. Overly ambitious? Where do you define the line? Because, by the way, isn't in Islam we say we need to be content with what we have? But how do you balance these things? Ambitious person is regulated by one thing. He or she is regulated by their faith and religion. What do you mean by that? He or she is regulated by the haram and the halal, by the wajib and the haram, by the mustahab and the makruh. This framework of religious instructions will help you regulate your ambition to make sure you don't overdo it or underdeliver. Is it okay to want to be wealthy? It is. But then you regulate it how? Paying your khums, your sadaqat, and helping the poor and taking care of the needy. See how you regulate it? You did not become greedy and hold everything to yourself. No, you gave. Why? Your faith, you adhered to your faith. Ambition is regulated by what? A humility. I know myself. I don't become self-centered. I know, but I try to offer others. Introduce others so you can learn from them. See, dear brothers and sisters, I want you to learn one thing. You see, in our community today, how many centers do we have? Many centers, right? Is this weakness or strength? Many centers, at least 10, correct? Today, there are 10 centers at least commemorating Muharram. Is this a problem or not? What do you think? Is it a problem? What's wrong if there are 10 centers? As long as the feelings that we have, those who are in charge, all of us want all of us to grow. Why? In the spirit of serving. It depends on how we feel. Everyone, I want people to attend. Why? It's not about having a crowd. It's getting more thawab, more rewards. But I want everywhere to be well attended because there are enough individuals to fill all the centers. Am I ambitious? The team here, is it ambitious? In every center, is there ambition for the team to fill the center with as many people as possible? Yes or no? There's nothing wrong with that. You know where it becomes wrong? If deep inside, and you need to test, if deep inside I'm like, man, I wish no one shows up there and they come here. That's a problem. That's haram. So ambition is regulated by your faith on the what should one do, what one shouldn't do. But if you don't know your fiqh, your jurisprudence, do you know your parameters? Do you know what's halal and haram? If you don't, dear brothers and sisters, wallah, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. The key to your success is knowing these rules. But you cannot depend on just showing up 10 days or once a week to learn. You need to continuously be learning. Every single day. Your relationship with the Quran, it means to understanding what? Your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal. To understand in depth this knowledge that Allah Azza wa Jal delivered through the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Sometimes we ask ourselves, why are we not successful in our lives? Why is it that I am not successful in my life? Why is it that I'm not gaining and achieving more? Don't look far. You need to reflect. And it starts with you. One of the things that we want to learn, dear brothers and sisters, when we talk about Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, when we talk about Karbala, when we talk about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, as a leader, he showed us how to be ambitious the right way. He brought all these people with him. He brought his family members, the women, the children, the companions, but he never held back from telling them the truth. He shared with them. He told them what will happen, and you make a choice. He offered them. He did not hold back. If you come with me, certainly you'll have that shahada, the martyrdom. You'll have a place with Allah Azza wa Jal no one else had. But it will happen. He did not fool them and trap them. No. He knew where he was going. Dear brothers and sisters, an ambitious leader has clarity. Do you have clarity of your future? Do you have clarity of your own knowledge? And by the way, it's not hard. Don't make it impossible on yourself. Al-Imam al-Hussain, the way we look at Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the way we understand Karbala, the way we understand Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they are the immaculates, al-ma'sumin. Which means what? Their isma, their immaculateness, it provide us role models like no one else. This is where we benefit from. And that is why, after the departure of the death of Muawiyah, he wanted Yazid, his son, to be what? The governor and the Khalifa. And they say the Yazid sent to the governor of Medina, told him, gather Hussein and take the bay'ah from him, the allegiance from him. So at night, he called on Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam went with some of his family members. And he had them sit outside and wait and told them, if you hear our voices become loud, come and take me out. Else, leave me, I'll handle it to myself. They say Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam entered the governor's mansion. And the governor told him the message from Yazid. Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam told him, I don't think you want me to give you allegiance right now at night. Let the people wake up, the sun rise, and we see what happens. There was someone with the governor of Medina from Bani Umayyah. He told him, listen, if Hussein leaves the mansion today, right now, you'll never get him. Imam al-Hussein looked at him and he heard him. He told him, you threaten me right now? You want me right now to give allegiance? Al-Walid, he knew something was going wrong. Al-Walid wanted to emphasize and press on Imam Hussain alayhi salam to pay what? The allegiance. Here, Imam al-Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayh makes a declaration. He goes, me and Yazid. Yazid, what is Yazid? He defines Yazid. Yazid is someone who is a sinner, a public sinner, meaning he does not care about committing sins in public. It means nothing to him, no shyness in the eyes of Allah, in his eyes towards Allah. He is one who drinks openly in public, one who commits sins in public, and one who oppresses people in public. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam defines and says this following statement. وَمِثْلِي لَا يُبَايِعُ مِثْلَهُ. Someone like me does not pay allegiance to someone like him. Dear brothers and sisters, Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam defined. He made a separation. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, what separates him, why did he revolt? It's not because he was going after the governorship or the authority. People came to Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam although he was not in power. Ahlul Bayt always had the authority and drew people to them. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, at that moment, in that era, Yazid la'natullahi alayh was someone who openly transgressed against Allah Azza wa Jal. And the religion itself was being changed. That is the reason Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam revolted to change that. And we'll talk in the coming nights how that happened and what did it impact. Dear brothers and sisters, and Al-Imam al-Hussain salamullahi ta'ala alayh, as we started with this majlis, went to say the final farewell to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And he stood at the grave of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. اللهم إن هذا قبر نبيك محمد وأنا ابن بنت نبيك وقد حضرني من الأمر ما قد علمت. Oh Allah, this is the grave of your Prophet Muhammad, and you know what is happening to me. And they say Imam al-Hussain sat by the grave of Prophet Muhammad, talking to him, and they say he just took a brief nap. In it he saw the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. ضمني عندك يا جداه في هذا الضريح علني يا جد من بلوى زماني أستريح ضاق جداه من رحب الفضاء كل فسيح فعسى طود الأسى يندك بين الدكتين. Dear brothers and sisters, Imam Hussain alayhi salam giving the last farewell to Prophet Muhammad. They say before he left Medina. Some of the poets describe as if he was at the grave of his mother, Lady Zahra alayha salam. Go with me to Medina. Imam Hussain alayhi salam is about to what? Leave Medina and go to Karbala. To go to Mecca, and from Mecca to Karbala. They say Imam Hussain, he put his chest on the grave of Lady Zahra. قومي من قبرك يا حزينة مطرود يمه أنا مطرود من أرض المدينة. My mother, in your grave, look at me. I am being exiled and kicked out of the city of Medina. قومي يا يمه يا الحنون وانظريني ومسحي يا محزونة بيدك دموعي. قومي الأعادي عن وطن جدي طارديني. Imam Hussain, as if he's talking to his mother, Lady Zahra alayhi salam, telling her that I am being pushed out of the city of Medina, the place where my grandfather was. They're sending me out. وأهل المدينة أصبحوا كلهم علينا وحقض العش المكسور يما صاير الباب والمحسن اللي طاح وتعفر بالعتاب. As if Lady Zahra alayhi salam is answering Imam Hussain, قالت ما عندي ملجأ والقلب من لي ترى ذاب. Son, where do I put you? Where do I keep you? Look at my heart being melted with what's happening. سافر يا يمه ونيتي أقصد للطفوف. Dear son, go to Karbala, and my intent is to see you there in Karbala. وهناك ظل وحدي وحالي بكربلاء. And there you'll see me looking at you in the land of Karbala. As if Imam Hussain replies and says, my mother, when you see me laying on the grounds of Karbala, please try to lean over and wipe my tears and the blood of my forehead with what the enemies of Allah did to me. But then he says, عوفي القبر يمه وتعالي بعجل إلي. Leave your grave and come to Karbala to me. Why? قال أتتمنى تجيبني. I wish you come and see and wipe the blood from my forehead, oh Mother Zahra. أتمنى تحضريني بكربلاء ودم الحجار عن دمعي تمسحينا وسهم المثلث من وسط قلبي تشيلينا. يا يمه يا يمه يا زهراء والداوين روحي بيدك يا أمينة. Then Imam Hussain, as if he's telling his mother, بس يما when you see me laying on the grounds of Karbala, covered with my blood, when you see me in the last moments of my life, oh Mother, Lady Zahra, leave me and go. Where to? وابقي مع الزيانة. Go to my sister, Lady Zainab. As if the poet is saying, imagine Lady Zahra after the martyrdom of Imam Hussain. She's in Karbala and she sees Zainab. What would Zainab do? She would run to her Ummah. Ummah ya Zahra. أخواني أخوتي راحوا وعافوني ورمت يا يمه من السياط انتوني وأمه وزهرة يا حسين غريب مظلوم حسين شهيد حسين يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive us, to accept the little we are offering in these nights, and let us offer the blessings of everything we recited to all the loved ones, to those who deceased from the believers, after the salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.